Today we're going to talk about the psalm. Last week we talked about the first reading. Today we're going to hear something about the psalm response. This is actually our second reading and is usually sung by a cantor. Continuing the practice of the Jewish synagogue, early Christians traditionally sang a psalm after the first reading. That is now our psalm response. Those who remember the old Sunday missals might remember that this is what used to be called the gradual. It was usually just recited quietly by the priest. Today, the psalm response has been restored to a place of special importance. The Church wants us to appreciate these hymns, which were really the liturgical songs of the Jewish people. Preferably, the response is always sung, although occasionally we recite it. Each Sunday psalm is one of the 150 psalms of the Old Testament. It was one of the joyful songs of the Jews, something like our Easter hymns. Each psalm is chosen because it is an appropriate response to the first reading of that particular day. The Church's instructions for the liturgy also allow time for silence after any one of the readings at Mass. So at times, we may pause for a moment between the first reading and the response so that we can reflect on what we have just heard. Next week, we will talk about the second reading.